Jeff and Jeremy. It's like a radiogasm.
I said, hey, babe, check it out on the podcast.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
And Spotify.
all this is going viral.
I don't think you realize that you have a very special, unique talent that I've never seen in my 44 plus years on this planet.
Going to be 45 very soon, so hang on to that, touting the 44 plus.
Jeff is the quietest sneezer I have ever heard in my. Let me do a recap because during the song he had a little fit, and I think he sneezed 3 times, but he goes, and I'm like, what the hell is going on over there? And I realize that you're sneezing, and
it stems from 2 things.
I was to try to hold in a sneeze like that, and I've tried before. It's literally given me the worst pain in my sinuses and then a headache to follow it. I let it fly. And if no one's around, no hands covered, no arms, I just, because I have to. And it's loud and it's violent. And most people, when they sneeze, I've never heard me go, I don't even think girls can sneeze that quiet.
It stems from 2 things, okay? And one of the things is, I know my situation in my sinuses when I'm sneezing. There are times when the sneeze has to be a little bit louder, and I can afford for it to be a little bit louder than what you just witnessed. But
sure, I'm sure, yeah.
The situation I knew,
hiccups are louder than what you just did.
In my right nostril, there was some allergen buildup, and if I were to let it go, a la Elsa from Frozen, I may have
reference lost on me since I don't have kids.
I may have to buy a new. Well, I'm getting to why you don't have kids coming up in just a second.
Great.
I may have to replace my computer if I did that because I was typing when I was sneezing and I didn't want to stop typing. So I can control it based on what I think my body could do as far as projectiles if I need to. I can hold it back.
No, but I think it's rare. I don't think people can hold it back to that.
It stems from my theory on
holds in a sneeze.
It stems from my, and another reason why I'm able to control it is because I have a theory on people who are loud sneezers. They're look at me people. People that are loud sneezers, because if I can hold it back.
You think we're drawing attention to ourselves on purpose?
If I can hold it back, you can hold it back,
no,
okay?
You can't.
And people that are like, it's like, okay, we get it, dude. You gotta sneeze, okay? Nobody should have to sneeze that loud. Anybody who's a loud sneezer wants the attention on them at all times. And I know you. And
You're calling me a loud sneezer?
You like the attention on you at all times.
You're calling me a loud sneezer?
Yes.
I mean, it's a messy sneezer, but I don't think I'm a loud sneezer. If I can grab something quick to sneeze into, I would have to. You just said. Because there's all kinds of moisture coming out of my mouth.
You can't control it.
And the sneeze has to come out of my mouth. It can't come out of my nose. It actually comes out of both.
You just said you can't control it.
And I try to bury my
you're the loudest sneezer that you know of.
My arm.
I brought up somebody in the building that I thought that could possibly be a louder sneezer than you, and you're like, no, I'm louder than that person because you've got that short guy competitive chip on your shoulder.
It's not a
and you're like,
chip.
Somebody can do something better than me, I got to do it. And next time I'm going to prove it when I need to sneeze.
I'm not proud of this at all. I'm not proud of this at all.
So why do you have to say I sneeze like a girl?
Well,
why did you have to go
I said, no, you sneeze quieter than a girl. I mean, I've heard hiccups come out of people louder than what you just...
No, my theory is not just applied to you. I can't stand people who are loud sneezers. Now,
I wish
know
you could sneeze on command because I want people to hear it.
Sometimes people...
Look at the light.
Sometimes people... I don't have to sneeze right now. I just did it.
I know, but maybe if you look at the light. Look at the light. That's what they say.
It doesn't matter. It's still not going to make me sneeze.
Smell the wall. It's full of allergens.
I feel like you've heard, like you've been walking through a store, you've been in a party setting, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, "Ah, dude!" It sounds like somebody throwing a punch in a karate dojo.
I'm not that loud. I'm not that loud. I'm not saying I'm the loudest. But I definitely can't control it like you can.
And I'm like, oh, God, the annoying person. I mean, how could you not think that about that person? That person wants to be the center of attention if they are sneezing that loudly.
Because you can't control the sneeze.
You actually have sympathy for that person?
It's like a superpower.
Oh, man, that person over there that is way over loud with their sneeze.
Yeah, and there's people that are much louder than I am. I'm just a mess when it happens. I have to make sure I'm covering everything because there is going to be a spray that comes out.
We
of
need
this face.
We need a poll question that's not of the serious ilk.
Can you control the sneeze?
No, that's not the.
Well, I would say most people cannot control the sneeze.
That is not the question. That's why that's not going to be the question.
It's one of those things
maybe
you can't
most
control.
people count.
I can
what
hold
do
in
you
fart,
think of
burp,
somebody
I can't control the sneeze.
who sneezes louder than 80 decibels?
See, now you're
personally attacking
painting
people that
this
can't
question into the answer that you
No.
want. You're
my question is going to be
framing this.
What do you think of a loud sneezer? That's what we're gonna.
What do you think of a loud sneezer? They're trying to get attention. They're poor people that can't control their bodily function.
Yeah,
loud sneezers. We need you to step up and vote in this poll. It's at KZOZ.com.
Yeah, but loud sneezers are they're gonna double down. I mean, like a Trump supporter. I mean, they are going to double down and be like.
Now you're labeling us loud sneezers.
I'm a loud.
We can't just be a loud sneezer.
I didn't say they were Trump supporters.
Well,
I'm going to say they're going to double down, or like a Biden supporter. It doesn't matter, either or. They're going to double down like the supporter of the president. Okay, I'm going to be an equal opportunity offender on this one. They're going to double down, and they're going to say, "Well, I'm a loud sneezer because it really affects me." Bull.
You're a loud sneezer because you can't control it.
Everybody can control the sneeze to some extent.
Now, I'm not saying that, yes, some people are very loud, and maybe you could try to dial it back a little bit, but you can't control the power of a sneeze. It's depending on the allergens that are in the air.
When
or
you're in a
whatever's
crowded
affected
room
you.
and you hear, you're like, man, that person really wants attention, don't they?
Yeah, but I'd rather be friends with somebody who actually can sneeze than that sounds like a...
Why? Because you barely even noticed that I sneezed. You're like, was that a sneeze? And I was like, yeah.
What kind of man sneezes like that? You're going to make it about that. If you're going to make it about short guys and tall guys in complexes...
I'm just saying that it's like the guy that drives the big truck is probably a loud sneezer.
Things we didn't get to in hashtag form with Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Baseball. Are you worried about seeing Seth face to face? I am.
Seth?
You see what the Twins did last night?
No.
They now have the longest postseason losing
The
streak.
guy can't even handle Tabasco sauce.
That's what I'm saying. Can you?
So I'm not worried about him.
Handle your franchise.
Thinks ketchup is spicy.
Listen, as somebody who went to a high school who I think to this day still holds the record for most consecutive losses from a high school, from a football team, it's embarrassing. People are like, oh, Tyee High School? Yeah, that's that team that was really bad at the football in the early 90s. Yeah, I remember that high school. High school's not even around anymore. That's how bad our football team was. They said, you know what? You guys can't play football. You can't learn. We're shutting down your high school.
No more high school for you. Go somewhere else.
Who doesn't win a football game over 5 years? Come on.
Be a loser at that school because you're obviously never...
Yeah, the Twins last night, they became the franchise to have the longest losing streak in the postseason.
Well, talking to me about baseball is like talking to a wall. I mean, honestly, I watch a little baseball throughout the season, and then once football starts, I don't watch anything until the World Series comes up. So, I mean, I'll watch highlights.
But this year's interesting with you might like baseball this year because they let so many teams in the playoffs because of the coronavirus and everything that it's now best 2 of 3s in the opening round to determine who can go on to the next round. So it's like an NCAA tournament. So you miss the NCAA tournament this year, then you have baseball because they're basically copying the NCAA tournament, and they're going to whittle it down, and they have a tournament setting, 17 games.
Okay,
17 games and counting. They have gone 17 times in the postseason. That's unheard of in baseball. Okay, think of a team having a 17-game losing streak in a season. Think about that.
But you can only do that in baseball.
That would devastate your season.
Yeah, you can only do that in baseball.
It would devastate your season. But over the last several years, the Twins have made it to the playoffs. Each time they go to the playoffs, they lose every single game in the playoffs. I'm afraid to see Seth this morning. That is not a.
But don't bring it up.
Not going to be a happy man.
If you don't bring it up,
how do you not bring it up? The guy who comes in here every day in Twins gear.
See, you're that guy. You're the finger poke guy.
And then when he comes at me, I'll sneeze really loud, and then I'll throw him for a loop.
You'd be the guy that would call Patrick Mahomes Pat just to piss off his mom.
You know, his mom shouldn't have got so mad about that.
Hashtag Pat's mom.
My mom says I'm Patrick and my dad's Pat, so hopefully we can start calling Patrick just to keep her happy, because I don't want to hear that tonight.
I so badly.
Pat Mahomes, look, he's had his way.
When Ed Orgeron leaves LSU, he decides to retire from college football. I hope it's about the same time that Patrick Mahomes decides to retire from the NFL, so it can just be a seamless transition of voices for the LSU Tigers. And Pat Mahomes, he'll have a nice grizzled voice by then. He'll sound exactly like...
Oh, you think he's on track?
I think he'll sound exactly like Ed Orgeron when he is ready to retire from the NFL.
My mom says I'm Patrick and my dad's Pat, so hopefully we can start calling Patrick just to keep her happy, because I don't want to hear that tonight.
So one of the announcers during Monday Night Football, I don't know who was announcing the game.
It was Steve Levy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he's doing now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mahomes' mom, apparently she's watching the broadcast tonight and tweeting away.
Guilty. I apologize, Patrick.
You know what? I would
Brian
call him
Griese
Pat.
too.
If I was Steve Levy, I would call him Pat at a time now.
Yeah, I would too. Patrick, what's the difference?
If your name is Jeff, I'll call you Jeffrey. If your name is Jimmy, I'll call you Jim. If your name is Robert, I'll call you
I might
Dick.
even call you Eddie.
I'm just not going to call you late for dinner, huh? Oh, yeah, Jason.
What?
I don't even know what that joke means, but that's a joke that people say.
That is?
Yeah, all the time.
So you feel the need to repeat it even though you don't know what it means?
Just don't call me late for dinner. Oh, yeah. Let's see. The Coca-Cola Company is now creating a...
Yes.
Why are you so excited about this? More White Claw and Truly.
You should be excited about this, too.
No,
I'm
not.
It takes your favorite beer brand and meshes it. But Coca-Cola is the premier beverage brand. Now, if they can make a Coca-Cola flavored spritzer, I'm game. Or a nice little Coke, like a spiked Coke.
Like a rum and Coke?
Like a spiked Coke. It doesn't even have to be a
Whiskey
rum and
Coke?
flavor. Anything, if you can add any alcohol flavor to Coke, I'm down for it.
Let me guess. You're the kind of guy that would prefer a rum and Coke over a whiskey and Coke.
I'm the kind of guy that would prefer a rum and Coke over a whiskey and Coke. Yeah.
You know why?
Because I'm
you know why?
tropical.
No. Because when you sneeze, it sounds like this. That's what somebody who drinks rum and Coke. Somebody who drinks whiskey and Coke.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to be that person.
This is Jeff.
If that makes you sneeze loud,
sounds like a little chipmunk.
there's no
Chipmunks
need,
are louder.
There's no need for the loud sneeze. Okay.
But yeah, Coke is making a
Unless you want to
sparkling,
scare people.
hard seltzer water. It'll be low in calories, and you can expect it out in the first half of 2021. I'm guessing that means by March.
Will it have the Coca-Cola flavor though? Is it? Or is it
I don't think so.
they're just teaming up with Coke to do
they're just
flavored
copying
beverages.
everybody else. Hey, if Kirkland can do it, if Costco can do it, then so can Coke.
And Coors.
Well, Coors is going to be Coors is actually making it for them. I believe that Coke is paying Coors to do it. So, because they like all that fresh water from the Colorado Rockies.
Hey, something to be said about water, by the way. I had no idea that water makes such a difference in the coffee that you make until I moved from Templeton
We've talked about this.
to a Royal Grande. We talked about it on the air?
I think we did. Maybe we didn't.
Royal Grande's got the best water for making coffee.
Because I pee in the lake.
I don't know what it is.
Every time I go to the lake, I pee in it. And that makes the coffee taste
You
better.
probably sneeze loud, and then you back your exhaust down to get the boat out of the water.
Dual exhaust too, buddy. Oh, yeah. Because I'm drinking a whiskey and Coke.
As you get out, sneeze loud, and then wipe your nose with your forearm.
And you guys, where's your 12th man thing? What, you giving up on that?
No.
Jeff has it. He doesn't want to put it up. He thinks it's bad luck.
I'll put it up when they lose.
See how sports people are? Believing?
No, I get it.
I heard him talking about the streak of...
I would rather represent than not.
It's called getting to the first round and not winning. and usually, almost always in that whole streak, it was against the Yankees. That's
God, you
why
sound like
I
me.
wanted to get back at them.
You know, for so long, that's how when people would ask me about the Seahawks, I was the same way.
Well, it's a sort of the thing.
You're just ready to be disappointed.
Well, yeah, but
you've already set yourself up.
But you always
for it.
get to the playoffs. Oh yeah, you've won a Super Bowl. I mean, the Vikings
I'm
got
talking
to
about
4
before
Super
that.
Bowls and didn't win any of them. But how many teams have gotten to 4 Super Bowls?
We went
But
to
Grant
2
said
Super
I'd rather
Bowls,
be
by the
0
way,
and 4 than
and
0
should have
and 0.
won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Actually, we've been to 3 Super Bowls. So
Shoulda.
we've almost been to as many as the Vikings.
We should have won 4.
At least we won 1.
They weren't even that close. That was the worst.
I don't
part
even
of it.
understand that argument. Okay, the Vikings have gone to 4. The Seahawks have gone to 3. The Vikings have been around much longer than the Seahawks franchise has, and the Seahawks have done better.
Settle down, Trump.
I'm just saying.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
So what are you getting
nobody brought it up, right?
Worried about, like, hot and bothered about?
Many people have told him they're very, very
Seth
good.
isn't even insinuating that the Vikings are better than the Seahawks here.
Okay, well, I took that a little different, I guess.
Yeah, because you're all fired up and ready to pounce. Settle down. Smoke a J or something.
Yeah, you just stand back and stand by, would you, Jeremy?
How much flour we got? Like, this is Central Coast. We got flour kicking around everywhere.
Oh, look at you, Mister! Look at you, lingo man.
Get some flour, man.
Flour.
I just think it's funny now that Bud is called flour because I did not know that. When,
I thought you were talking about the baking flour.
When I hear we got some of the best flour, I'm like, what is it? Florist or is it what? What's going on? But
Well, because you've got it back in the old days, you didn't delineate. You didn't have types. You had whatever the guy down the street had. It wasn't this type or that type.
was called-
We got any of this, got any of that.
it was called scoring a lid. Go
Yeah.
score a lid, Jeremy.
You
So
just hope-
settle down.
No,
okay?
Skip's got it right. He says I need a Snickers, and
Yeah.
I have not had breakfast, so I would.
If you're
That's
getting
my
angry,
favorite.
you're not yourself,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
my favorite candy bar.
The point that Seth was
There's one in
trying
the
to
vending machine.
illustrate was that it's tough when your team gets some success and is supposed to get all the way there, but doesn't get you all the way there.
Well, do you remember that team that won 116 games in the regular season?
Yes, that's
and
the
got
Seattle
wiped
Mariners.
out of the first.
Yeah, Seattle
round?
Mariners.
You tried to
You
take
probably
another
weren't
dig at
baseball.
me. God, I swear to God,
You guys aren't baseball
You're playing
fans, so it
dirty.
doesn't matter. Just by bringing up facts.
One word to describe the debate last night.
They've all been used, I think. Train wreck, disaster, dumpster
Yeah.
fire. But
Well,
did you watch? I couldn't.
You're a
and-
witty guy. I just wanted to hear if you had anything.
Oh, no, I actually had something else to do, and I thought, well, that's convenient, and then I won't be tempted to try to watch it. And my wife was watching, and I was in the garage, and I came in like, 15, 20 minutes after it started.
That's
and
about the time I
she was
needed a
watching.
break.
She was watching one of her series that she watches, and I'm like, well, what happened? She goes, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I said, I can't believe 2 grown men doing like they did. And
It was about. I hit pause
I'm gonna
at
play some
25
highlights, though.
minutes, and I'm like, I don't know if I can go back to this anymore, but I did, and I was doing other stuff, and it got a little better as far as the talking over and arguing, but not. It was still.
But I mean, yeah, you come out of the gate with that. It's like those wrestling matches where they both get disqualified, and there really wasn't a fight because they chase each other around the ring for 5 minutes and they got disqualified.
Yeah.
It's like, come
felt dirty.
on, man. Yeah. And so I'm going to play some highlights, though, coming up, just for everybody's benefit.
There's highlights?
Enjoyment.
Are you trying to get
why
people
not?
to tune out?
Why not?
There's highlights.
Oh,
I think
there's
highlight-
There's lowlights. I think they're more like lowlights.
Wrong word.
Yeah.
Excerpts.
Yeah,
I'm not
there you
going to
go.
call it. Yeah, lowlights, not even worthy.
Stick around, lowlights from last night's presidential debate with witty satire from Seth Blackburn.
Yeah, just remember who's doing it.
Yeah. I'm going to stick around for
Good.
it. Let's see. What else do we have going on?
Boy, it looks like we got a lot of stuff coming up. Have you talked about it yet, or are we waiting on that?
A lot of stuff coming up? No.
Oh.
What do we have? I'm afraid to
Like
say
maybe
anything.
next week.
Oh, next week.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about it.
Okay. Well, then we'll just increase the mystery then.
Are you talking about the stuff that's on this piece of paper?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll let you talk about that.
Okay.
I can't pronounce half the stuff that's on that page.
Oh, I thought there was something about cash, but I guess not yet.
There's cash.
Okay.
Cash is involved.
Cash, let's cash, many cashes.
Some of the most cash in the
Very,
world.
very cash. Best cash ever
Thanks to
in the history of the world.
participating in the Surfnet Communications poll question. We were asking about the debate. If you watched it, 90% of people watched it. What do you think about loud sneezing? That's the new one. Get over there.
Did you do any poll question about the debate, or
Yeah,
just
we
on
did.
Facebook though?
We did. We just asked people if they're going to watch the debate because if we ask anything, it goes more in depth than that, we get accused of being political. So
Yeah,
then we leave it
or-
alone. And then we talk about sneezes.
You can tell by the response whose side
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing.
And then in this society, when somebody jumps on you because your team has been to the Super Bowl 4 times, and he thinks that he's saying that you think your team's better than his.
I thought that's what he was saying.
In this society that we live in, we ask people about sneezes.
Russ is cooking.
Then they get mad that we're asking about sneezes because they're like, everything going on in the world right now, and you guys are talking about loud sneezers?
Yeah, right. Can't win.
Yeah, well, yeah. Again,
you can't see it, but Jeremy gives 0. I need a beat
0
button.
middle fingers.
Best fantasy football team name I've ever heard. Gives 0 flex. Flex is a position in fantasy football.
That's a good one.
For the 2 or the 3 people in here that got that joke.
You know what? I give 0 flex to what you think about that joke, Seth.
I'm sure you do. And flex isn't even a plural.
I'm going to go eat a Snickers.
The position.
Yeah.
Thank you,
You're
Skip.
not yourself.
All right, Seth is up next. Participate in the poll question. Do you think loud sneezers do it on purpose because they want attention?
No,
Or do
did you guys bring up Linda?
Themselves?
Linda from here?
No.
Oh my God, legendary. She rattles the walls.
She does.
She has to get in position, hands on the knees, so she probably doesn't throw her back out. I mean, wow.
That was a great
Didn't
picture.
been around in a while. Yeah.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.